2, 3. Hey! Hey,
That's gotten weird.
Yeah.
it really has. Welcome to the Download Youth Ministry. This is episode 293. This has been going on for 10 years, and some people wonder why.
Yeah. I think we just answered
We
it
don't.
right there.
We don't. We actually like it. We like
good
each
friendship
other.
time.
We love each other. I was just thinking how inspired I am when I'm around you guys. I'm a better human being. And you might be saying, who is that human being? Well, that human being is Doug Fields.
Douglas Montgomery.
From Download Youth
DMF.
Ministry, and I'm sitting next to Jason Carson,
Hey-o.
the king
Senor
of
Pastor.
arson. When
Ooh, I like that.
yeah, he fires people up.
Yeah.
As a senior pastor,
Fire him up.
he's a supertone creator.
Senior pastor joke. Right
I know.
There. I like
That was pretty good, Doug.
The queen,
right in.
Katie Edwards,
Hey.
junior high extraordinaire, author, speaker, wonderful
Nothing
woman,
rhymes.
Married to a
greatest
great
human.
human who is
It's pretty great.
pretty much like me when it comes to being a fan of sports.
It's pretty much the greatest human like
he's
me.
the greatest human like me. What now?
And then there's Josh.
Hey, good to see you.
Yep. You know what I was thinking,
And
Allison? What would be
Josh.
fun for the future web shows? is
Tell
to
us,
have,
Doug.
Matching
to have my
outfits.
list.
Hats
That
with
was
different
funny.
hats.
Can you imagine us all in?
I can actually. I think it would be
Tracksuits,
great.
velour tracksuits.
Tracksuits.
That would be amazing. Tracksuits,
A
Adidas,
list for
stripes,
all the
all
people
way
who are
down.
going to DYM 100. So when people are writing in, I could compare and go, oh, they're going to be a DYM 100.
Wait, you have the
Ooh,
list?
the list. Show it to the camera.
No.
I can be your secretary.
Next time.
And look for the names.
Next time.
For
I'd like to be a
those
little
that
bit more
don't know,
prepared.
the DYM 100 is an exclusive invitation-only gathering happening this September
That's
in
Yeah.
Southern California.
Yeah.
That's web show at downloadyouthministry.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's going to be, it's our first one.
It's sold out.
exciting.
It's full.
Well, it's sold out
It's
before
over.
people could even register.
Did you see the people on Twitter that are upset? They're
Yeah.
like, what is this? I can't, what? It's sold. Ah!
Well, here's what
Just like
I've
that.
been saying to
Like the
people.
DC
Like a
Talk Cruise.
pterodactyl.
Am I right?
DC Talk Cruise.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
Doug hasn't heard about the DC Talk Cruise.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
So
I don't- I
DC
don't
Talk,
keep up with
DC Talk
Christian
for
news.
DC Talk for an entire month had this big hype thing that an announcement is coming. All the fans think, oh, they're getting back together. They're going to do a new album. They're going to do a
album.
tour. And they finally announce it, and it's just this one cruise, DC Talk, with like Newsboys and Toby Mac and a few other bands.
And it's $1,000 to go.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah.
Some of the 4,000 a person. Some of the tickets. And so there was outrage all over the social media.
So,
People are pissed
a Download Youth
that
Ministry
it's not a
cruise.
new album.
Our cruise idea, it's out.
See, I didn't
Yeah.
know
Go on a
DC
cruise.
Talk broke up. So,
16 years ago, my friend.
oh.
60. That's
Okay.
very specific.
It was the big
And
announcement.
so,
Okay.
here's the deal. So, if
The
you are
show
a
that
regular,
people care about.
if you are a regular to our podcast, when people say, "Hey, I didn't know about
Yeah.
the DYM 100,"
Then
my
you're not a
response
regular.
has been, "We mentioned it on the podcast,
A lot.
and we sent an email to the DYM members."
Yeah.
And then DYM members go, "I am a DYM member," and I go, "Oh, you don't read our emails,"
Yeah,
which is
caught ya.
understandable.
Got you red-handed.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's
I get it.
unfortunate.
That's
I get
rough.
it.
But join us for DYM 100
Round two.
2017. I don't know. Are we doing it? Are we going to do it again?
Yeah.
yeah.
In
Oh.
2018.
Every
it's
4
already on the
years.
calendar.
2020.
Oh, I'm deep in 2018.
It's totally like the Olympics.
That should be our tagline. DYM 100. It's totally like the Olympics.
Well, here's what hurts me is that the best line of the whole show is from Elliot.
good job, Elliot.
All right. Hey, here's the deal. We are sponsored by Orange. None other than Orangeconference.com, Reggie Joyner, Orange Curriculum, XP3, 252, Hike. There's just so many.
Doug loves orange.xp3.net.
Yeah, Doug loves Orange.
This is super fun.
I don't know. Doug
Yeah.
loves XP3.
Orange is awesome.
Doug
Yeah.
loves
Yeah.
Trying to
Orange
say.
is great. We use them. We love them. Best signature curriculum out there. Boom.
Boom.
Good
that
job.
we know of.
Yeah. I mean, we're always looking.
Maybe there's others that are better, but we just don't know.
No, it's the best, period.
Yes. And the Orange Tour.
Yeah.
Check out the orangetour.org.
All over the country. We'll be at some of those. It'll be fun.
Hey, several episodes, there's a youth worker in Parker, Colorado. His name is Joel Stetler, and Joel has cancer. And we've talked about this before, and Joel's just given us an update.
All right.
He
Good,
wanted
good.
to say that there is a recent scans show that the cancer has decreased 11% in size since his first round of chemotherapy, which is amazing, since his particularly rare form of sarcoma historically does not respond to chemotherapy at all. So there is hope. A large number of the tumor in his lungs, the surgeons will they're going to favor it as in the surgical route. He just feels kind of like it's going to be managed.
Good news.
Spiritually, I've been praying more for guidance than for healing, as this crisis has brought me to a rather exciting place in my walk with Christ. Wow, that's pretty amazing to be able to say that.
That is.
Thank you for your prayers and encouragement. As far as the leadership team, we're planning to have a special recognition for the ministry leaders, and we have the gift card drive organized by parents. Students have made personalized trophies for each of the leaders.
What?
He says, if at all possible, I would love to present the gifts from DYM and other sponsors you mentioned on the podcast. What sort of arrangements need to be made? Who should I talk to? And I'm hoping that this is not too late. So I'm going to give this to Allison right after the show, Joel, and we're going to get you taken care of, because Allison is really anything related to details.
Yeah, she's the
She
only
kinda
one.
makes it happen.
If there's any chance of this happening,
If there's
it's
any
through
really
Allison.
chance
Allison.
anything of DYM happening,
Yeah.
like Josh and I came up with the idea of the DYM 100, but we don't know when it is, where people are going to go.
Without
what
great
we're gonna
thinkers
eat.
and
Totally.
technical people like Allison and Elliot, where would we be?
Personalized trophies, though, for
That's a
each
great
volunteer.
idea.
That is
Great
such
idea.
a great idea. I love it so much.
I want to steal it.
Okay.
Actually,
Blog about it,
you can
make it my own.
get those on DYM. DownloadYouthMinistry.com. Personalized
Personalized
trophies.
trophies?
Yep. Yep.
Oh.
Go to
I'm so sorry I
downloadyouthministry.com
didn't know that.
/personalized trophies.
That's
downloadyouthministry.com /personalized trophies. Look at Allison's setting it up right now.
I can't wait. I'd like to be able to choose the topper. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. This is from Ryan Jantz.
6 to 8
Ryan
weeks,
says, love you all and love Download Youth Ministry.
Oh.
DYM has come a long way since that live stream where you pitched the membership idea and Doug frantically jotted down the impact or the details on a whiteboard. As an author
That was
and
fun.
early adopter, it has been an awesome ride, and DYM has impacted my ministry and family beyond what I could ever imagine.
Wow.
Katie,
That's so
I know you
This
don't
is
follow
a
everything
heartwarming
on Download
start.
Youth Ministry, but Download Youth Ministry has gone from like a C to an A. All right, we've got this new games app that will blow your stockings off. Do you wear stockings? No.
Those are socks, right?
Just moving along.
I think our grandmas wore it once, Doug.
Yeah, we've got this games app, Katie, that really.
I'm excited about it.
It is great. I didn't know we were a C. I'm still a little taken aback by the fact
No,
that we
well,
were C.
because
I
what
don't
do I
think
go?
you
We
were.
went from an A to an A plus. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
all that
true.
exciting.
You're
We're an A.
Yeah, we were C minus then.
Well, the games app has put us into a new
It is
stratosphere.
really cool.
And then this month we launched a new newsletter app that it's
Super slick.
Katie, I need to show it to you.
I'm so
You type
excited
in
to
stuff
see
for your
it.
parents, check boxes for some articles. Boom.
We had
Email,
we had a
print.
decent one. Now we have a great one.
It's just slick. It's the
exciting.
future. Yeah,
Why wouldn't people become members?
it's a fair
Jason,
question.
maybe the best thing you've said in 30 episodes.
Thank you, Doug.
Yep. Yep. All right. As an author and early adopter, it has been an awesome ride,
Why
and
wouldn't?
DYM has impacted my ministry and family beyond what I could imagine. One of the best and most unexpected benefits of DYM for me has been the community of amazing youth leaders that I have been able to connect with, get to know, and be encouraged by. I'm guessing Ryan, he tweets a lot. I recognize
He does,
his
yeah.
name, and he's going to the DYM 100. Will you check that, Ryan Jantz?
He is, definitely.
Yep.
Ew.
And I'm guessing he's on our Facebook page because there's a
Probably.
lot of interaction, and that's where the online community is happening. However,
Oh boy, that's a lot of praise.
Dun dun.
I'm Offended by Josh. However, I'm in a spot where I think many youth pastors find themselves. Why I so enjoy the online community of DYM youth pastors, I have no deep connections with other guys my age locally. I've been in my church for 6 years and have always had a super hard time getting beyond a surface relationship with church members. It's easier with other local youth pastors, but we're also busy, and with 5 kids, it's really hard to invest a lot of time into growing meaningful relationships. Are there any tricks or advice that you could give on how to develop solid adult and accountability relationships without stealing what little time you have left for the family? Ryan, I'm going to give you. I don't normally start, and I'm going to start.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
Here's the deal. You got 5 kids. Life is busy. Your friendships are going to revolve around those kids' parents, chances are. So if your kids are in Little League, you're gonna be around those people several hours a week at practices and games, things like that. I wouldn't necessarily feel like you need to find friends who are in youth ministry. Some of my dear friends, Sandy Boyd is an electrician, and this is a guy that I used to coach Little League baseball. You know Sandy
Alex
Boyd.
and,
Yep.
Nick.
Yep. He's a great human. Maybe one of the most supportive friends I have. No
He's
offense,
amazing.
Josh. But I just said
Wow,
most supportive.
Ministry friends. Whew,
Yeah, no,
okay.
most
All right,
supportive.
see where I rate C+.
No, well,
Minus.
it's all based on supportive. So it's it's your job to get above a C. But those friendships are not necessarily ministry friendships. So you look outside. I think you look for people who are revolving around your kids in those circles of influence, and maybe don't spend so much time online.
Don't play video games as much?
No,
Great community on video games. Come on.
No.
I would add to that and just say there are seasons, too, of friendship, of relationships. And so I think as my kids have gotten a little bit older, we've had some great new friendships develop. And I think we've really enjoyed that. When we were in the thick of, we have 4 kids. We were in the thick of that, little kids, lots of diapers, crazy youth ministry schedule, the whole bit. It was a priority. It just wasn't a reality. And so I think as our seasons have changed, our friendships, the depth of them have changed with them. And that's okay.
Good answer. Good answer. Is the seasons changed? I'm going to have to listen to it back.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, why don't you tell the story, speaking of listening to it back, I want to hear that LA Fitness story.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
What
but
happened,
let's
Jason?
wait. Let's
wanna
answer Ryan's deal on
Yeah,
friendships.
but be ready.
Let me ask.
Yeah,
let me
because
answer Ryan.
there is something related
a
to what you
break.
said,
No.
Josh, that made me think about it. Is like people would
That's
say,
Ryan.
what are your hobbies? Well, now I have hobbies.
Yeah.
When my kids were in the zone at home and little, I didn't have. My hobbies was survival.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like ministry, family, everything they were involved in. Maybe coaching them was a hobby.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
But I have a lot more friends, time with friends, hang out, the whole bit. I mean, we're going to a very nice dinner after this with some friends. It's his birthday. I'm sorry you guys weren't invited.
Yeah.
But we don't even have.
Season.
It's kind of like we don't even have check calendar anymore because of
How
season of
fun
life
is
we're in.
that?
Yeah. But that wasn't like that for the longest of time. So I look at your guys' age of kids.
Yeah, you're running to dinner. I'm running home to quick family dinner, homework, craziness.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
picking
just the
someone from
reality of
tutoring.
that
Chaos, bro.
season. So why I say friendships oftentimes revolve around either other youth workers. So some of my bestest long-term friends are like Greg and Linda Vino, people who volunteered for 20
Hardcore
years.
volunteers, yeah.
You're seeing them all the time, and so you're rubbing shoulders with them, staff people, that type of thing. But I think you said it really well, Josh, when it comes to the seasons.
Yeah. Let me add what I think might be helpful for
We're
Ryan.
out of time.
Oh,
Jason.
that's great. Yeah,
We're already
No,
kind of
go
in a.
Are you gonna tell your story afterwards?
I'm gonna talk to Ryan because I care about
Then
this
come
guy.
back to your story. We got to.
I don't know. Ryan
gonna
seems
start
like,
paying
without
you
knowing
well.
him, it might be fair to say Ryan seems like somebody that is one of those personality types, very specific personality type that needs somebody to go deep with. Not everybody needs that. There's certain guys, if you have 100 kids in a youth group, there might be 5 or 3 that like deep accountability, or maybe 1. I mean, it's a small percentage, right? So if Ryan's that guy that needs that someone to talk to, I have 2 friends that are actually long distance, and it's always on the phone, and I might see him once a year if we somehow run into each other around the country. But where I just call sometimes once a week, and we just go deep in ministry and talk and have that safe space to say, hey, this is what's going on in my life. And if Ryan's looking for that kind of camaraderie or whatever, I mean, you could probably announce it on the Facebook page of Download Youth Ministry. Does anybody want to have just a partner to share stories with and to go deep with and to say, I'm struggling, or to hold each other up in prayer? Would anybody want to volunteer for it and exchange numbers, and why not get a pen pal out of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be cool.
Say the camaraderie again one more time.
Camaraderie.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you just said it differently. You said camaraderie, and I was like, "What is camaraderie?" Okay, tell us your LA Fitness story. Great answer.
not
You
gonna
got anything on friendship?
I just don't think that we have a couple of lifelong friendships. I don't have a billion. I've had, 4 or 5 people, just kind of journeying on the inner circle with our family, and they have grace for us when seasons are busy and are up close when we need them to be up close, and vice versa. So I wouldn't say it's like billions of relationships are like that. I think there's a few, and it's okay to have a couple, that are just, these are my people I draw up close with. Those are the people I'm intentional with and pursue, and they're intentional in pursuing me back, and I think, I'm pursuing at a lot of different levels, but as far as there's some people that you just choose, like, hey, these are just the couple I can pursue in any season.
Yeah.
And then as seasons change, relationships, like you said, have different levels of depth. So I would just be okay with that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. It's a good word.
I like that.
Jason, LA Fitness.
Probably not going to happen.
All right, I'll start us off. So Jason was on the treadmill the other day.
And
The
here's the
elliptical.
deal. Jason said, I don't want to talk about this on the show,
know.
which
And
shows how new he is.
That tells you
You're still kind of new.
we're gonna back you into a corner and you're gonna tell the story.
And that's why we say save it for the show.
Yeah.
Save it for the show.
Save it for the
Jason, you can give us a pretty clean version of this story.
show. There's nothing messy about it. You really want me
I
to-
think you should.
Oh, it's a great
okay.
bet.
Okay. So just this last week, I'm at LA Fitness, and I'm on the elliptical, and I haven't been in a month and a half.
No one can tell.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. I just knew it. I knew it was coming.
You walked so
So-
into that. There was
That was a
Tee it up.
I said that before when you told
Yeah, and it was a
it worked.
recycled gags. They're
did.
always great, Doug.
It didn't
That's
get Allison to laugh, but that's okay. That's all right. No, it's all right.
she doesn't want to fat shame anybody. So oh, that got Allison to laugh. Bingo.
It wasn't fat shame. It was just working.
I just pulled my shirt out a little bit because I said fat shame. I'm like,
So,
What?
so the
Keep going.
greatest thing to keep me occupied, more than Sports Center, more than listening to music for me, is listening to the DYM podcast. Like, I
Amen.
enjoy it. It's nice. It makes it seem like the time just flies, and it's like going
Yeah.
back and listening to a great conversation with great friends. So I'm on this thing, the elliptical, haven't been working out for a month and a half, and I'm going like, my arms are moving back and forth like this, and my legs are going up and down, the whole body's moving. And I haven't done this in all this time. And I'm listening to this part where Doug said something about his nephew Elliot in the room, and he called him a B- or something. He said he made his whole life, he made a career out of being a B- his whole life. And I started laughing. Like, I fully
On
got
the
the
elliptical.
chuckles, and I'm on the elliptical, and I have my earphones in, and I'm laughing. And then Josh says, he looks like a Unabomber. And so, right when he said
It was
that,
a double laugh.
I laughed so hard, it just triggered in me, and I'm going like this, and I probably ripped 5 loud farts right in a row. Pop, 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 pop. And I'm just going back and forth. And there are these 2 ladies right next to me on the elliptical, and they looked over and stared at me like I just did the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And I still have 15 minutes to go on my workout.
And what did you say?
yeah, you
to
just
them?
stay in there.
I
You
just kind of look down. Yeah, squeaky elliptical ladies. I don't know. I don't know what I said, but
Squeaky.
incredibly.
That's the name of the show. The
Squeaky elliptical.
Squeaky
So
elliptical.
it was incredibly humiliating, and thank you for letting me share this story with thousands of viewers.
It's okay.
I appreciate that,
it's
Josh.
it's important. It's
It
important
will
that
endear you to me.
Josh,
Yeah,
tell about what
see?
you dabbled in high school. Go ahead.
Is a homeschool kid?
weed. Okay, next.
Stop.
I'm kidding. That's not
That's
true.
false.
I didn't dabble
Hey,
That's false.
in.
for Josh's kids, that's
False.
weed.
I was an avid gardener.
.com.
Avid gardener. What are you talking about?
That is not true. No.
Okay,
That's
now this,
so not
No.
true.
we don't
Well-
need, we don't need to talk about this, but just in the weed world, I was in Seattle
Wait,
this
is this
last
real?
weekend.
Okay.
This got real.
Doug,
Here
Doug
we go.
smoked a joint. It was
No,
weird.
no.
Oh,
It's
there-
legal.
There is like signs everywhere for pot.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's legalized for like a year. I just haven't been there in the daylight or other than the airport or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, just signs everywhere. You're like marijuana depot and home.
No.
Marijuana.
What's happening right now?
Weed Mart.
Yeah,
There, I got you.
Jack in the
We've gone
bong.
off. We've gone off.
Jack in the Bong.
McWeed.
Let's get back on track. Here we go.
Taco
Here
joint.
We go. Shoot.
All right. Yeah, you're like, come on. Oh, that's
Come
funny.
on, guys. Come on.
El Pollo marijuana.
Girls.
All right.
Weed.
Carl's joint.
Marijuana is not funny.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. So,
Here we
long
go.
story short, LA Fitness fart story. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And you know what? That's kind of
That
a good
was
way
your closure?
for us to.
Yeah, let's
This is the last show in this building
Yeah.
that we
We're
think.
closing it down.
We hope.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
A new
Here we
studio.
go.
Here we go.
Katie, this is mostly
We've
for
got
you.
a big birthday
Oh.
dinner
Look
to
at
go to.
save for
Save
Katie.
for Katie. I'm just going to sit back.
Okay,
there.
yay.
Oh man, that stresses me out.
Josh, text
My name is Julie. This is Julie Tweed. Julie Tweed. My name is Julie, and I'm the junior high director at Parkview Church in Iowa City. Why didn't Julie sign up for the DYM 100? We have
No, but I feel
way
like I've
too
talked
many.
to her before, maybe.
You have.
Oh yeah.
We have way too many men. We need some women. My coworkers, Todd and Nick, and I had the pleasure of having dinner with Josh during the Atlanta National Youth Workers Convention 2 years ago, and it was such a blessing. Thanks again for making time for us, Josh.
You're welcome.
Unfortunately, I chickened out on asking Katie to meet up for dinner, and she was already snatched up by other Katie fans. However, Katie was so gracious and made time for a phone call from me last year as I was pondering life and ministry and being a mom. Way to go.
Wow,
Way
that's
to
awesome.
go. Josh would never do that. Thank you again, Katie, for your wisdom and your time.
That's sweet.
Even though we've never met, I look up to you more than Jason.
Don't
I
we
mean, more
all?
than you know. Sorry.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Who wouldn't be a member?
So I'm on the elliptical.
So there I was, guys. Hey. You ever been on an elliptical, kids?
So now I'm back seeking more advice.
Show's lost all.
After 4 years of infertility treatments and 2 miscarriages, we were blessed with the birth of our son Maverick this past December. I decided to keep working at the church and attempt navigating life as a mom and youth pastor. After being back at work now for a few months, I'm finding myself asking God where He wants me. I was wondering what advice you have, Katie, on how you decided to keep being a pastor and a mom, and if anything helped you know you were making the right choice. I know y'all can't tell me what I should do, but I would love to hear your thoughts. I love junior high students and volunteers, so the thought of leaving is really hard for me, but I know that I'm not indispensable and that the ministry is God's and not mine. I really want to be obedient to God and make the best decision possible. Thanks, guys, for all you do to help youth workers. Humor, wisdom, encouragement, and resources are a gift. Our student ministry team has been so blessed by DYM. Just
So
this last
cool.
week, we used the hashtag message and loved it.
That's rad. How fun.
All right?
What a great question, and a lot of wisdom already
Yeah.
in her questioning.
Definitely.
She's wrestling. You can see it. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, I say quit and be a great mom. Sorry, what? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You weren't even...
Yeah, Katie, what do you got? This is
Yeah.
definitely your world. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think, it is different for everyone. But I think this, when I had my daughter, Abby, my first daughter, and I went through, which I think every new mom does. And I think every new dad goes through a pull and a tug of war when your first child is born, because everything changes. And you change. You do take on new attributes that didn't exist before, and new pieces of your identity surface and things like that. So understand that I think it is a rediscovery process with Jesus of your identity when you become a mom. There is some of that. And so I think that was just a season that I went through when I first had Abby is, who am I now? Because I know I'm different. but I'm the same. So I think definitely taking time to spend time with Jesus and rediscovering yourself is a piece of that. I think too, this was my first really big test of obedience, truly, because I think there are times when your heart is tugged in multiple directions, but Jesus is leading you into one. And even though there's things that you think, oh, but I want to be here too, or I want to do this too. I think my husband and I have just together always trusted God's leading and calling on our life. And because I think to just, it's not that it wasn't hard to go back to work, and it wasn't that it still isn't today, 16 years later after my first child was born. There are still days where I feel that tug of my heart. But God has, just continuing to seek out what Jesus wants for me, seek out who he's made me to be, and do the best that I can to live out the way he wants me to live out my life. He's been so faithful in every other area that the tug is different now. It's not... the tug is not, oh, I wish I could be home with my kids. The tug is just, oh, I miss my kids. The tug is, and God has been really faithful in that, and been really faithful every step of the way. So really, to me, the best thing I can tell you is just listen. Just be silent, just listen. And I think, I really do believe that God will reveal himself to you and his plan for you. And whatever's happening within what he reveals to you, he will be faithful in every other area. So I don't feel like I said before, or I think we said it on another show, I don't feel like I'm ever a mom and then a youth pastor and I'm switching back and forth. I'm both at the same time. So I'm thinking about my kids when I'm a youth pastor, and I'm thinking about my youth ministry when I'm with my kids sometimes. Those are parallel tracks for me. And I think they're always moving forward. And the common denominator in both is God's calling me to be me, Katie Edwards, which is youth pastor and wife and mom. And he's giving me the tools to do all of those things. Mm-hmm. He's fueling me. He's leading me. He's with me when it's tough, and he's with me when it's great. So I don't know. Do you think that's a good...
It's hard when yeah, exactly. I agree.
Standing ovation right there. First time.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah, 293
Deservedly.
shows. I've never given it standing ovation.
I like what you're saying about both paths are good. Like, God could be in either one of these. So, this one will end well, and this one will end well.
Definitely.
But there's a choice, yeah.
Yeah. And he is leading you clear. He will. I think God will be really clear with you. If you ask him to be, he will.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And take some time with the newborn. Always take some time with the newborn.
Yeah.
You'll never get that time back. If it's a month, if it's 2 months, whatever. If you can talk to your boss, your senior pastor, anybody, and say like, hey, what are my expectations here? And can I slowly, gradually go back into it? That's good.
If we could get newborn air freshener, I would.
I know.
I
just
love the
smelling
smell
babies.
of a newborn.
Yeah, their heads are so.
I know.
What
were you going to say?
I was just going to say. I was going to say you. I think when you become a parent, like I said, life changes, and you do have to find a new normal. So I would say I'm not the same youth pastor I was before I had kids.
Right.
So there was a new normal for me to seek out and to find. And there are things that I don't do anymore that I used to do when I was single, or I used to do when I didn't have kids, that I don't do anymore. There's different choices that I make. And I think you guys would probably say the same thing as dads. You sought out a new normal.
For sure.
For, with family life. And so give yourself some time to find that new normal, to find that new rhythm. If Jesus is leading you towards it, he will help you find that rhythm.
That's good. Katie, if you had your own podcast, I'd listen to it.
I'd so listen to it.
Yeah, I don't listen to podcasts.
It'd be an A+, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's some C- or so.
Well.
Well.
The Games app's A+.
Yeah. The newsletter.
I think it's unbelievable. Why would you not want to be a member?
Why wouldn't you?
I know.
Be a member.
This last question, because that nice dinner that I'm going to that you guys were invited to, I got to get going.
We should keep you here a little later just because we weren't invited.
Let me answer this one, Doug.
I'd like to see that happen.
Elliot, get the door.
Let's let the senior pastor talk.
The senior pastor drones on and on.
I have 12 points I'd like to say on this.
I have 4 sermons I'm going to combine into one.
Yes.
Wow. Sounds like this weekend.
You've heard
what church?
You've heard Jason speak?
Hey, I was under an hour and 10 twice last year.
I I love when Elliot laughs. when you get Elliot to laugh. Now John's coma.
Yeah, John
it's
literally.
All the guys.
John, you look way too comfortable. John's been up in Seattle lately.
It's okay.
Oh, I see. You made a drug reference. Oh,
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh,
Here we go. Last question.
Everyone stop it.
Quiet, kids. My name is Joey Phillips. I'm a DYM fan
Joey.
and member. I've been
And
viewing
member.
the podcast web show since 00. Is Joey Phillips on our DYM 100 list? Joey.
Is it Joey or Joy? I couldn't hear you.
Joey.
Joey, get on it.
Well,
Come on. What?
I just sent my first lesson in to hopefully
out.
end up being in the DYM store.
ooh.
Great.
Oh,
So,
that's
often.
exciting.
Maybe.
I
If
tried
you were
that
if you were
once.
here at the DY 100, we'd talk about it in real life.
Sold out, Josh. Don't shame
you can't
people.
Yeah.
I'm an old youth pastor with 20 plus years under my belt.
I like that.
The last 4 years, I was doing youth ministry as a volunteer. I'm back to full time, and I've been at the current position for 2 months. When the senior pastor called to offer me the job, he also told me that he would be leaving the church soon. He left 2 weeks ago. The children's director resigned and left 1 week ago. The associate pastor just found out that he would be not be offered the senior pastor position. So he's out the door.
He's on the
Soon, I will be the only program staff here.
Oh, wow.
None of this is revealing an unhealthiness in the church. Quite the contrary. So here's the questions.
That's great
Very articulate,
news.
Joey.
Yeah.
I like this.
Optimistic.
As they begin the process of interviewing a new senior pastor, 1, what type of input interaction should I have with the candidates? 2, what questions do I need to be asking them? Thanks again, and keep up the good work.
Wow. Last man standing.
So, what type of interaction should I have with the candidates? I would say all your interaction should be really positive, because I think that person could be your potential boss.
Oh, yeah?
So you don't want that person going away going, dude, that one guy, he was a drag.
Yeah, the one guy that's left. How did he
Yeah,
make
it's
it?
not your choice anyway. So, just, boy, if you came here, Pastor, how could a person like me best support you?
Yes.
What's your love language in terms of
Absolutely.
how do you manage? How do you like to be, cared for? Whatever. I would ask all those subordinate type questions just to get a feel for it. But what type of questions can I be asking? Leadership style. I mean, I think some of your how do you affirm people? What does a work week look like for you? What are your expectations on staff? I mean, if you've been a staff person, you know how people either manage or mismanage you. So I would ask questions around that. But I'd be really positive, because I'd want that person coming in at least thinking, man, I can't wait to work with that youth guy. He was great. He was positive. He was encouraging.
Yeah.
Don't you think knowing their youth ministry history would be important too? Like, what in your last church, what was the youth ministry like there? Or did you ever serve in youth ministry, and what's your
great
background? I think that'd be interesting too.
Do you have a philosophy of youth ministry that's archaic and you'll force it on us?
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, back in the 70s, that's what we did. It was terrific. That was my senior
interviews-
That was my senior pastor voice.
Who leads an interview like this? So with all these people leaving, because
Usually
I've
an
never
elder
been through
board
this.
or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
search committee maybe.
Because maybe even going to them and just asking them what they foresee your participation being, like just, wanting to know, should I ask any questions, or, how do you
Right.
view my role in this? Maybe something like that.
But yeah, and if he's the only standing staff member left, Doug, you nailed it, man. Just don't be the fall guy. It's not your job to hang this interview guy out to dry and make him, I got to know this stuff. I got to press him hard. Let the other elder guys do that and find out about him.
Yeah, I would say be involved in the process, though. I think what a unique seat you have as the youth director or youth pastor, whatever, to be involved in that process. I think be a part of it. What a gift that is.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, you are coming in and the senior pastor and those relationships are all established. It's a really unique situation. So,
I was in the first church I was at for 11 years. I was at year 10 and a half when they were interviewing a new senior pastor. I was allowed to be at the table and there were questions
cool.
being asked. And I remember thinking, if this guy gets the job, I am out. Like, this guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's just not going to work here, and I don't want to work with. They probably interviewed 10 people. Well, he got the job.
No way.
And so his first day, I submitted my resignation.
You're kidding me. I've never heard the story.
But I kind of knew I was in transition anyway.
Yeah.
But I just thought, this one this is
Were you thinking A, there's no way they're going to pick him, and B, if they
no,
do,
I
I'm
didn't
out?
think there was
or
no way there. I kind of knew he was a little bit of the choice, but he
Interesting.
lasted not very long. As a
Right.
matter of fact, that church kind of collapsed and merged with another church to what is, Mariners.
wild,
Yeah, today.
wild.
That's
Great. I mean,
And now you're back on staff as
honestly-
a youth guy. I love it.
honestly, a great guy, really great guy. It was a style thing. I just went, this is not going to be,
Yeah.
the way he talked about evangelism. I went, that's not how I think of evangelism. And I just went, we're going to be, but
It was too big of a rock. Couldn't let it go.
I just felt like, how there's good people that you listen to are really smart or articulate or whatever. You go, we're just going to be style different.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with him, but I just knew like, okay, this is probably my
wow.
out.
And that's big of you to step away too, because a lot of times guys don't, and it's just fighting for
Oh, it
the whole
wouldn't
next
have- it
year,
wouldn't have
2
been
years.
Then it ends
Yeah.
badly, and
Yeah.
church.
Well, no, and I mean, there was also, it led me to Saddleback for 19
There you go.
years. So it was a good move for me.
Doesn't the Assemblies of God, like when they get a new senior pastor, every staff member has to
hand
turn
in
in
their resignation.
a resignation, and that senior pastor has to rehire them all.
I remember the first time I heard that.
That is
Well, and it's not just the
like,
Assembly of God. I
what?
think there's other denominations.
Oh yeah,
that-
I was in an
fellowships that do that.
independent Baptist church that did that. You had to turn in your resignation. Now that person could then, reject your resignation or turn it down, but you
I
had
guess
to
that
put it
would
in.
be normal to assume, though, right? Anytime there's a leadership shift.
Yeah, the
would
cabinet
be-
doesn't stay with the president; they all resign, and the next president decides if they stay.
It's
or
how
if they
most
go.
of the world works. It's weird when we hear it in a church setting.
In a church, you're like, "What? That person's called."
There's
to that
no
church
grace in
and
this.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's a unique seat. Be a part. Don't be on the sidelines for this. Get in there and be a part of it. That's neat.
But guard your words.
Well, let's do this, you guys. This is the end of
What else can we talk about while we make
episode
Doug late for dinner?
293. Hey,
I
let's
like
thank
this
our sponsors, the Orange
Thank you,
primary
Orange.
sponsor.
Thank you,
We
Orange.
kind of said hi to them anyway. Let's list the other ones, Josh. Why don't you take Leader Treks?
Leader Treks, Refuel Retreat, great student leadership material, amazing trips all over the world. LeaderTreks.org.
You take YM360.
Yes, YM360. Awesome resources. Oh, camp. Do you want me to talk about the camp?
Hey,
thing?
talk about whatever you want.
That's your deal.
I don't know a whole lot about
called
the camps
Gen-
other than you're
Generate
going.
Camp.
Allison, could we write into Katie's contract that she should know more about our sponsors?
You
It's
blew
not
it.
that I don't know anything about our sponsors. I just don't know about the camps.
I don't really
You
know
have to-
about the camps too. This is their first summer.
Thank you, Allison.
Okay, here's
Go
the
to
spiel about
YM360.com.
Resources at YM360
It's gonna
are
be a great
amazing.
They're
camp.
top notch.
Yeah,
Top
the
notch.
person who used to oversee the best kind of camps in the country.
Yeah, he
is
runs
now
it
on
for them now.
YM360. They're gonna crush in
Yeah.
the camp
Roger's,
industry.
that's awesome.
If you're not in on the ground floor,
You're going to be out.
you're gonna be out the
Yeah,
door.
and they're expanding all over the world next summer too. So if you didn't go this summer,
2017.
at least to California.
2017, all over the world, aka California.
All right.
and Azusa
Jason.
Pacific.
Azusa Pacific University, get your master's degree. It's great. You can go see Doug Fields and get a class from him.
Yep. And who doesn't want that? Also,
And why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you be a member? Why wouldn't you be a member?
Why
Hey,
wouldn't
this is our last show in this temporary building.
Maybe.
We're grateful for this.
Oh.
Prove it.
All I want to say is
We'll see.
next podcast
Let's see
will
if
be
that's true on 294.
episode
Right here.
294, and here's what you can know about that. There will be more events than the Olympics. All right.
These sign-offs
Have a
are
good life.
Are great.
Yay.